of the halawa, so we're worshipping Allah for that sweetness, and as soon as we lose the sweetness, we stop worshipping Allah, or if we've become servants of Allah. And I think when we understand this meaning, we begin to realize that it's a test, and that He's just testing me. So you have that buzz, and then it goes away. You're like, no, I understand. I know my Lord. I know what He's doing. He's testing me. And then He starts to test you, and you pass it. You say, well, you know what? I'm going to persist upon these outward forms of expression, even though I'm not experiencing them. So for example, well, you can always experience them to a degree, but I'm not fully experiencing them. I'm not ecstatic. I'm still going to pray, because I have to pray, even if I don't necessarily feel the sweetness. I'm still not going to drink, for example. As in, I try to relate to some of the people watching, because we try to keep this, our show tries to welcome everybody in. That's why it's Stairway to Paradise. I always imagine a very wide staircase that we're all going up on. That's one thing about it. The other thing also is that I always give this analogy. You don't know who's on their way up, and you don't know who's on their way down. So don't judge people by outward actions. So, but an example, drinking is one of the prohibited things in Islam. The kaba'ir, actually, it's an enormity. Sometimes, like I said, during the spiritual buzz or high, pay me $1 million, I won't take a sip of that, But during a little low, fluctuating, point in your life, after a lot of the movies we've seen growing up, the moment the protagonist has a problem, unfortunately, it's not beat me up, Scotty, it's give me a beer, Scotty, and you kind of take it. Sometimes in, fluctuating, being on a lower point, people just maybe want to drink. So it's not always, there isn't always that buzz. The question is, the idea is we're supposed to persist upon those do's and don'ts, even if you don't experience them. And I think as soon as we start worshipping Allah for Allah and not for the sweetness that we get, it's not a function of time, it's a function of sincerity. As soon as Allah sees that, yes, you are sincere enough to go to Him in spite of all the pain, because I want you so bad, I'll take all the pain coming my way, that's when the pain ceases to be. Almost like the Matrix, when the bullets were coming his way in the end of the movie. I mean, the movie's so old that I can't really burn it out for anybody now at this point. They say in Egypt, haratu, burn out, quick translation again. But the bullets are coming his way. Neo,
right?
Keanu Reeves, hello, McFly, anybody home? That's a really old movie. But bullets, bullets, and then what happens? Because of his belief in whatever it was they were trying to preach to us, those movie makers at that moment, a lot of conspiracy theory about subliminals in that movie. Anyway, stop ramifying, Moez. His belief in that this system was bad and that they're being manipulated, the bullets actually stopped. So all the asbab, all the causes that send us away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, once we believe that, once we make a firm decision in our hearts, we are coming to you no matter what the obstacles are. There's shawq, which is yearning. There's so much shawq in my heart for you that I don't really care about the shawq. I'm just playing on words here, the kind of thorns on the way. It'll hurt me more not to be with you than those little pricks on the way will be. That's when they cease to be. They can't hurt you. So Allah allows the test just to see how much we want it. The question is, do you really want it? I don't know if you relate to this at all, Amr or Dara, this little buzz. I got a buzz here actually that we're getting on.
Well, just to kind of regardless of whether you do have the buzz or not, the things you have to do within Islam are obligatory anyway.
Right.
So having that buzz is an added bonus. It's a blessing from God. So it's something you should appreciate. And if it goes away, again, it's a blessing that is gone, and it can come back at any moment, it can be taken at any moment, but regardless, you still have to fulfill your obligatory requirements.
SubhanAllah, you reminded me, and it's so amazing because you reminded me of an amazing thing a scholar once said, that as soon as you begin to understand the reasons behind Allah preventing something from reaching you, taking from you, as soon as you begin to understand why Allah takes, the taking becomes the essence of giving. You now realize that you're being given. Even the buzz, He took it away, so you start worshipping Him and realize that it's about Him, not about the buzz. Even that was for your own good. Anything that Allah takes is ultimately for us. He's giving. So whenever Allah takes, He's actually giving, but that takes, I think, it takes some struggle maybe. Dara, off camera, you mentioned the fact that you want us to talk a little bit about also that there's a struggle. That, that it's not always on a silver platter.